Have you ever been recommended a book, show, or movie so much that you eventually get tired of hearing about it and finally experience it for yourself? Well, that's my situation with a little manga called Vagabond. I've been hearing a lot of praise about this manga lately. Some people were even calling it the best looking manga ever, and even better than Berserk. That's an absurd statement because nothing is better than Berserk, but finally I said, alright, I'll read it. So I picked up the Viz Big version, which has 3 volumes in one, and I was really pleased with the sizes of the pages and just how thick the book is. It also has this side artwork on the spine, so it forms a picture when you line them all up, so I'm going to look forward to collecting them. Well, the first thing I noticed is just how incredible this looks. It's definitely one of the best, if not the best looking manga I've ever seen. Each panel has full detail of artwork, and it gives you this sense that you're looking at something lifelike. You could basically feel the wind and air just by looking at the artwork, and you feel each force and power behind each sword strike. It really makes you feel like you're in the time period of feudal Japan, and I could tell that a lot of research went into making everything look accurate. There's even times where the artwork almost looks like one of those traditional Japanese paintings. The kinds that you might actually see on walls of museums or just really authentic Japanese restaurants. It really gives you a sense of atmosphere, and it's really great stuff. And if it's already this good looking from the beginning, I can't wait to see how much better it's gonna get later on. The manga was written and illustrated by Takehiko Inahei, best known for the basketball series Slam Dunk. He received an insane amount of success with that series, so much as to make the sport of basketball more popular in Japan. After the success of Slam Dunk, Inahei found himself wanting to pursue a different kind of story. A story where he wasn't limited by demographics and censorship while catering to a younger audience with Shonen Jump. He wanted to explore something that dealt with more complex aspects of people, such as life and death, the value of human life, and the human condition. And so he went with a story about the life of Miyamoto Musashi. For those unfamiliar with Musashi, he was perhaps the most famous samurai who ever lived. He was known for being undefeated after winning 61 duels. He was also known for a lot of other accomplishments later in life. These achievements that he completed later in life were mainly what inspired Inahei, but instead of doing that, he created his own version of Miyamoto Musashi's early life. There's characters like Musashi's best friend Madahachi that never actually existed in real life. There's also battles that never happen, and it's mainly to add more drama and better pacing. But for the most part, it is based on Eiji Yoshikawa's novel Musashi, which covered the life and deeds of Miyamoto Musashi. That's an excellent book, and it's great for anyone interested in a realistic account of his life. So far, it's reminding me a little bit of Berserk. Musashi is kinda similar to Guts when he was growing up. His life is nowhere near as traumatic or brutal, but there is similarities, like both of them are just incredibly strong and had this mysterious past, and everyone just views them as a monster. Musashi also has a bit of that arrogance that Guts had in the Black Swordsman arc, where he's just this unstoppable powerhouse and will take anyone on in a fight, and especially won't hesitate to kill. It's not really a spoiler, but right now, his name isn't Musashi, it's Shinmin Takezo. His main mission is to go on his own journey and just get better skills as he travels. He was born in Miyamoto Village with his best friend Madahachi, and without spoiling too much, Madahachi is engaged to Otsu, and they're soon to get married. It's made known that Takezo apparently dragged Madahachi into fighting in the war, and they ended up surviving the Battle of Sekigahara. They set out to travel back home, but trouble always seems to follow Takezo. He has a past that is still unknown. What we do know so far though is that he's incredibly skilled, especially with a boken, and he seems to love combat. We do know that he's destined to become the legendary sword saint Miyamoto Musashi. He kinda comes across as just some cold-hearted killer, and he will take anyone on in combat just to make a name for himself. Manahachi, on the other hand, is not very skilled or experienced in combat. One cool thing I noticed, there's two women that are very similar in concept to one of my favorite films, Onibaba. Like with the beginning of most stories, all that really happens in the first few chapters is just setting up the characters and setting. This one, however, does all that with great action and pacing, and not one chapter dragged. There's also a lot of mystery behind the main character and his past, and I'm really excited to read more and just find out how he ended up this way. I also found the characters around him pretty interesting too, so that's an added bonus. So far I'm really into this manga, and I can't wait to read the other 2 volumes in this book. So far, everything I got out of this is exactly the type of manga I like. It's pretty obvious that I love samurai, so that's a given, but there's more to it than just that. It's serious, violent, but not over the top, has good action, interesting characters, and an interesting setting. I heard this series gets pretty deep and spiritual, so I'm also looking forward to that, but yeah, so far so good. Vagabond is beautiful, and you should read it. So, thanks for watching guys, and if you read Vagabond, just leave a comment saying what you like about it. Thank you.